Ladies and gentlemen, the Rex Bear League Project. How the heck are you? This is just a quick update. Have you ever wondered how far the media is going to go in using the term fake news? And it seems to me to be quite hypocritical when many of these larger news institutions that have created so many fake stories, fake headlines, fake news themselves project fake news towards alternative media outlets. So, for example, in this article, Fox News, France to combat fake news with rapid response law, this is written by Christopher Carbone, it describes how France, the culture minister, is working on a new judicial procedure to stop the spread of fake news. And the measures that they're going to be working on until March, they say, are to create a law about new confidence in information that will permit us to act very quickly when a fake news story goes viral, particularly during an election period. In an interview that was done on Sunday. So, elections, politics, this law has a lot more to do with politics and the in crowd, the club, than it does real news versus fake news. They could care less about fake news. They enjoy fake news because they project fake news continuously down your throats because they love you so much. So France joins a growing number of European countries that are fighting back against fake news and Russian-sponsored propaganda. It's the Russians. It's still the Russians, folks. It's always the Russians. I'm joking, but that's this news article that's projecting. So is it fake news or is it freedom of news? Is it fake news or freedom of speech? Is it fake news or frank news? Those that create the laws decide what is real, what is fake. When did the dictionary's definition change of the word fake? I was about to say frank. Fake, frank. When does AI decide fake news? When does the puppet masters, the MFers, you know what an MFer is, right? A money funder. When do the big money funders that create, or they don't create, but they usurp up these artificial intelligence algorithms that decide what's real, what's fake, what's too controversial, what's too close to the truth, what might create traction down the road. They look at all this stuff, formulate it all, throw it in the computer, come up with the algorithms, the predictions, the forecasts. Okay, let's consider that, let's label that fake news because people won't even read the article now just because we title it fake news. How many people just see the term fake news and they decide it's not real anymore? I mean, certainly, I do my best to present information and say, you decide what's real, what isn't. I'll give my opinions on things, but I don't say them as absolute fact. Oftentimes, I think I know something, everything there is to know about something, then I'll find something, breadcrumbs somewhere else that say, oh, okay, well, there could be more to it now. So I don't want to put myself in a box. And I tell you guys to question everything. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, I understand that. You know, there was a guy that left like 6 or 7 different comments on 3 or 4 podcasts kept saying, fake news, you're lying. There's no UN troops in Chicago. First of all, I never said there were UN troops in Chicago. There is some video footage of a commissioner in Chicago that was on the news saying we need help from somebody that is more trained, with people that are more trained to work with minorities. And he was referring to the United Nations. He was asking for the help of the United Nations. They were calling for the United Nations to help with gang-related violence in Chicago. And this guy, I don't know if he watched the video that I did or not, or if he just read the title and he thought he had the answer to it. So he just kept saying, fake news, they're not here. I never said they were there. I said that a commissioner in Chicago called out for United Nations help to help prevent these gang wars and this violence. So the term fake news, oftentimes, it's those that are creating fake news that are projecting you as the one with fake news. And I wonder how far these laws will be able to go and how many rules, regulations, etc. will be able to put in play to prevent freedom of information, freedom of news, not fake news. A lot of times you could be a lot closer to the truth, but they can label it as fake because it doesn't fit their agenda. It takes away from what they're attempting to do, what their forecast, what they're being funded to do, what they're being blackmailed to do, whatever. I mean, politics is crazy, especially when you get into some of those higher levels. Who knows what's going on up there in Washington, D.C.? I mean, it's a separate entity in and of itself. It's crazy out there. When I went to D.C., I went as a tourist. I loved it. I had a blast. I thought the energy was great. I really enjoyed it. It reminded me of like a modern version of Rome. But I don't live out there, and I couldn't stand living out there because there's just too many people. It's a fun place to visit, let's put it that way. But the energy out there I thought was quite fascinating. And you could tell the people out there, they were very self-aware of how they looked, how they acted. You know, they took care of themselves. It was a lot different vibe out there than when you're walking around here in San Antonio, Texas. There's just a different energy out there. I noticed the majority of the women out there were wearing dresses. I think maybe there was one out of thousands that I saw out there that were walking around, because I was walking around the street, walking around, you know, the outside of the White House and the Smithsonian's and stuff like that. Walked several miles that day, and real busy downtown, etc. I probably saw one lady that wore pants. The rest of them had a dress on. I mean, you know, it was very interesting to see that. So anyway, I'm kind of divagating here, but there's different games, there's different players in this game right now, folks, and I certainly see different factions jockeying for position, using the media as an outlet to project their truth, when in reality, when they say you're fake news, they're the ones projecting fake news. How many times does the news project they're on scene somewhere where they've got a green screen behind them showing the scene with footage where it looks real, but it's not, it's a green screen. The reporters are reading from scripts. Oftentimes the scripts are written by foreign interests, by defense contractors, literally by alphabet agencies where they'll interject their stuff in there. How many events and exercises go down where the media pretends that they're on scene when they're not, and they're a part of an exercise, when it's an event? Crisis actors, etc. And they're saying, you're fake news. We live in amazing times, folks. Subscribe, leakproject.com, youtube.com/clandestine time lord. Also, there's 29 hats left. 29 hats left. Heidi Vandenberg, I sent out Heidi Vandenberg from Channel 27, sent out your hat today. Also, thank you very much for the bid on hat number 3 that has been shipped out today. So hats number 1, 2, 3, and 27 have been shipped out. So there's 29 hats left. And these are also going to include, they're not it's like a 2-piece system, a liner that has different fabrics that will help protect and shield from like harmful frequencies in the higher megahertz range, even in the gigahertz range. So how cool is that? They're still being completed by Julian from jdsigns.net. This guy just does incredible work. I'm telling you, absolutely incredible work. If you look at the fabrication, I mean, these bad boys are hand built, and you can see like the carbon fiber patch right there, the logo, the symbol. You can see the inside as well. Very nice, just extremely clean fabric as well. So if you want to bid on one of these, send me an email, leakproject@gmail.com. There's 29 of them left. This is a limited edition, and they're signed for authenticity. Pretty cool, folks, pretty cool. And I certainly love coffee. I know you guys love coffee as well, right? Even when it's late at night, you got to have coffee because it's just so exciting. So hold on a second. Cheers. Be the change you want to see.